One Word is a production of BFAC On Air.
Why did you look like... Why did you do that?
It's just my face.
Oh, no. No, she like
I'm gonna go cry.
No, she was saying that, and then suddenly she was like... It was terrifying. I was like, what just happened?
Welcome back, everyone, to One Word.
One word.
One word.
One word. Oh, that was
I
bad.
am Dominic.
I messed it up, Dominic.
It's been a while. Hey, it's been a
Gosh,
while.
I'm sorry. I'm Jenna.
I'm Rozzy.
I'm Harmon.
And
I failed us, everyone.
No,
No,
It's okay. It's
you're
okay.
No, you didn't. We had a great time filming this episode.
It was
a
We're
great
back
episode.
together again.
We are. It's been a while.
It's been a little bit. and-
Hey, Happy New Year.
it is the
Oh,
New
yeah.
Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Can we still say Happy New Year? It's pretty late. Like, what is
It's
the
belated.
cutoff?
We're 1/12 into the year.
But I mean, don't you like? Do you say Happy New Year to people and you cut it off like 3 days after the New Year?
No, you can cut it off in March.
Like if you haven't seen
Okay.
them since
Exactly.
the New Year.
So
Yeah.
if I
Like,
run
I haven't
into
seen you in a
someone
year.
April 17th,
and it's the first time
and
you've
it's the
seen them.
first time I've seen
Yeah.
them,
Happy
Yeah.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
I say Happy New Year to
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
I haven't seen you in a year.
What if I haven't seen them and it's like December 14th?
Happy New Year.
I still say
That's-
Happy New Year
that's
even
my
though the
birthday.
year is ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
just conversation tips.
Yep.
Thank you for helping me. Training me how to be a human being.
Now you know.
I didn't know these things.
Well, you've been learned.
I've been learned. It's like magic. There's this. I was going to sing a song. I shouldn't sing the song that I was about to sing.
I wanna know what it
Starts
is
with
now.
O.
Oh. Oh.
Oh?
Oh.
It's
Is it magic?
Okay.
Okay, wait. Speaking of songs, this is so random, okay? But there's this thing that we talked about later in the episode with the word
Wait,
abracadabra.
let's get out the randomizer. Random thought.
This is lovely. So there's this thing we talked about with Abracadabra, and it reminded me of the song "Row, Row, Row Your Boat." And I want to know if y'all ever did this as kids or now. When you sang "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," did you ever
did. I'm going to be honest.
Did you
Can I
never
just-
sing?
I hated that kind of thing.
What?
No, I
What?
sang. I liked singing, but those songs always seemed like childish to me.
Well,
the
when
best
you were a
songs.
child.
But no.
They were
When
like,
I
wow.
was a child, like even at 5, I remember feeling 35.
No, that tracks.
Like I remember being like, "This is a dumb silly." I wouldn't wear any shirts with logos or cartoon characters on
Wow.
them because I thought it was like too like childish.
Childish.
This is so intriguing.
So you were just wearing like a
to me.
button up and slacks every day to school?
Basically.
That's awesome.
And I had to come home and change out of those clothes.
Oh, yeah.
And into play clothes. Every day.
What did your play clothes look like?
They were just a year older version of the nicer school clothes.
He's only a cartoon character.
Oh, this is great.
I
Oh,
digress.
so, yeah. So so when I was a kid, even now, like I sang "Row, Row, Row Your Boat" probably 2 days ago. We Dominic had his arms crossed. He's just glaring. We would sing it, and then at the end of the round, you take off a word. And then you keep singing it, and then you take off a word, and then you keep singing it. So then by the end of it, you're like, row, row, row,
That's like,
row, row, row. And then that's the end of your thing.
That's so much brain power.
It's so
that
much
is-
fun.
especially
though.
for like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do
I
that
don't-
now.
yeah, I don't think I can do that.
I mean, to be fair, I think my brother and I were like 10 or 11,
Yeah.
15, 16. Hopefully my brother's not listening to this because he would be like, do not talk about these things.
So when you did that, did you believe you got a magical power every time you did it?
No, so that's where like it ends with I just heard us talking about the abracadabra
Yeah.
thing, and then I was like, oh,
So
row,
for
row, row
our
your boat.
audiences, that does relate to what
It does a little bit,
something in the episode there.
Yeah.
I have never done that. Does that surprise you?
It does not surprise me. I would like to challenge you to sing row, row, row your boat quote today and go through from the beginning of the whole thing down to you just say row. It's going to take a little bit.
I bet it will.
Oh my gosh.
More than a little bit.
I have to dedicate an hour to that later.
Dominus not going to do it. It's okay. You don't have to.
No, no. I think our audience is with our word for for this month. Most people are going to think of magicians and things like that. Do you like magicians? This is a very controversial thing. Have you seen magicians? Do you like them? Can you remember the first time you've seen it? Now I won't put that caveat on it right now. I just want to know, what are your thoughts on magic, magicians?
I think it's cool because they're doing stuff that I definitely wouldn't be able to do, especially with close, like the close-up magic. Yeah, and, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, like talking to magicians, like something's a little unsettling. I don't know. I'm just like uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't know. They're just, but like as people,
you're like, you shouldn't have this kind of power.
Yeah, exactly.
You should not be able to do this.
Yes.
I don't trust you.
Yes, a little bit.
There are people like that.
Yeah, not personal though.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Anyone else? I have a story I'll share in a minute.
I wanted to be a magician when I was little. I had like a little magic kit and stuff, and there was like boxes of.
Did you have a little tuxedo too? I had a tuxedo.
I wanted a tuxedo, but I never got one.
I cannot.
Did you have a play tuxedo too?
I was gonna say like you have
was
like
a
the
year
tuxedo for like dress occasions and one for like casual things.
I did used to be a model for a tuxedo place. I used to model ring bear tuxedos.
Oh,
You have such a fascinating life.
All right, so here's
digress.
my story.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was in it had to be before 5th grade because I moved in 5th grade. I want to say it was like in 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade, and I was going to my friend's birthday party. Little Dominic, 3rd, 4th grade Dominic.
In a tuxedo?
My best friend was, her name was Kelly. I won't say the last name because we're on the air, right?
Right.
So I went to my best friend's birthday party, and she had this other friend.
Uh-oh.
And her name was a different name. I'm not going to say what that person's name was.
Felicia.
But I don't remember liking her very much at all. Okay. And she told me, because there was a magician coming to the birthday party, that she was going to make sure that the magician picked me for when he does the trick where he pulls your underwear out of...
Okay,
Yeah, there's
first
like
of
a-
all,
you hold
her
this
knowledge
thing
of,
and they
of
pull
magicians
the
is
underwear
wrong.
out.
yeah.
And so I'm just like, I'm petrified to go to this birthday party. But I go and I'm like, I'm going to sit in the back and I'm going to, right? And
Wait, I'm sorry. You were in 5th grade, you said?
No, it was before, it was like
Before
3rd or
fifth grade.
4th grade.
Oh, okay. I feel better about this. Go ahead.
So I'm sitting in the
was like-
back and I'm not even going to look at the magician. And then the magician asks for a volunteer. And you know what? I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let this person make me afraid. So I raised my hand.
Yeah.
You go.
I did. I didn't know what it was, but I did, and he picks me. And I go up. And I'm standing up there, and then, I don't know, I'm holding this, like, stick with curtain thing, right? And then all of a sudden, he goes like, poof, and he pulls underwear.
No way.
I
You're
am
kidding.
not even kidding you. They were massive boxers of
that's
cartoon
so
style.
funny.
But
Did you look
It
over at a girl?
happened
Was
to
she
me.
like,
we were just
Dominic?
friends.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that happened. And I point this out because we talk in the episode about words.
Mm-hmm.
I create as I speak, you'll hear.
Mm-hmm.
It was created, it's spoken, and it happened.
That's crazy.
That is
Isn't that a
crazy.
little
She's
crazy?
like a prophet.
How did she know that?
I don't know.
But did you think that they
Her,
were...
her name is the same as a state, FYI.
Idaho.
I was like, Wyoming? Was that Wyoming? So when Wyoming was talking to you, was she like, did she think that the underwear was going to be like pulled up, like give you a wedgie while you were in it?
Well, my head, I'm just thinking now, like,
right?
What's going to happen?
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh man.
like,
and then when you said that he did, I was like, whoa. Oh, right. Just like, but you didn't get a wedgie.
I did not. Well, geez,
good.
we've talked on so much.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, but that was fun talking. That was great. Welcome back. Well, my friends, I don't think I should talk on any longer. Without further ado, I just have one word for you. Abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
And you're here.
Oh my gosh.
It's like magic.
I should have moved before so that we can like edit it out where I'm like, boop, and then I show up.
That'd be so
Totally.
cool. We should get like some effects in here too. Where it's like sparkles.
Yeah.
Or you just could have used actual magic
I could
and
have
abracadabradized yourself.
I could have and
Ooh.
reverbed it. I like it. So abracadabra,
It is a difficult word to say.
was thought. I'm just gonna keep using this hand if you're watching.
Never mind that you're blocking my face from it.
Never
Very
mind.
mesmerizing.
Okay, I'll put it down. There you go. It was thought to have originated in 3rd century AD. But then around the 1690s, it kind of became like this magical formula.
Yeah.
It might be other years before that. I have no idea because I don't.
A magical formula.
A magical formula. And then you know what? The word peaked in the 1940s. Everybody in the 1940s was like abracadabra, abracadabra.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah, we should.
But
bring it
I
back.
doubt they were using it in the 40s?
Yeah,
Like they used it way back
they used it in
when
different
it was
ways.
created. I really think it is absolutely nothing to what we think of it today. Like, what would you think? When did you say it was?
When it
3rd
peaked?
century?
Oh, yeah, when it was thought to have originated, 3rd century
Yeah,
AD.
so do you think in the 3rd century a man with a black top hat and a cape walks out and a handlebar mustache and
Yes, I do.
'Pulls a
100%.
rabbit out of a hat? No.
No.
Unless
is
he
not
was
true.
a time traveler.
That is true.
Yeah.
Unless
That's
he
a
was
good
a time
theory.
traveler.
Yeah.
Well, so a lot of the stuff I found was like, well, it could be this. Or maybe it was this. Some people think this. Do you know what I mean? About
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
this came from? And so here is, they kind of all root together. And I think we'll find that a lot of different cultures had their own versions of this as well.
So what you're saying, though, is that the word abracadabra kind of magicked itself into...
I'm going to be honest, and maybe by the end you'll see this,
Okay.
but I do think there is magic to the word abracadabra.
Okay.
I think there's magic to it. Not what people originally thought the magic of it was, but there is magic. So what I found was, it's debated, and the Hebrew phrase of abracadabra, meaning I create as I speak, is one of the original. Now, when you hear that, I almost think of like an improviser, for example. As you go along, I'm creating as I'm speaking. But it really, as I researched that a little bit more, it doesn't quite mean that. Really? No. What it means, it's a concept which ties to the fact that words have intrinsic power. It's talking about the power that our words have, and that spoken word wasn't just a tool for communication, but a force, a magical force that had the capability to create things as you speak. It influenced reality. I said it, therefore, it happens. I create as I speak. So as I speak, I am creating the reality we live in. That is kind of what that stems back to. Now we can put the pin in that. And we can talk about a few other things. Well, it might be this. It might be this. It might be that. Right? Okay. But so that is kind of where it stems from, which is, I think, is also why it will get used in some of the ways that the word was used as we went through history there. Mm-hmm. For example, the Aramaic origin of it, there is one that is Abracadabra, okay, which translates to I will create man. So there are a few religious contexts to this word that we will find as well. There's another theory that the word abracadabra has Hebrew words which translates to Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Okay, because you've got the Hebrew words Ab, Ben, Rach, HaKodesh, which translates to Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, meaning that abracadabra was in fact the invocation of the Holy Trinity.
This is a very random fact that does not need to be here. It has nothing really to do with what we're going to talk about. I took a Hebrew class in college.
Oh, that's fantastic. I
did.
So you can correct me if I'm wrong.
So you understood what he was saying.
Of course I did.
Well, just you wait.
One semester.
Until I get into this area. I've got a whole context.
I should say that was a long time ago, and it was one semester.
So here's another theory. That the magic word is derived from another magic word known as abraxas. Did I say that right, Jen?
Yeah.
That word is Greek. The letters in Greek numerology add up to 365, which are the numbers for the days of the year as we know it, although 365.25, right?
Yeah.
But the Greeks weren't super concerned about leap year.
No, they weren't. And now there's another one in Aramaic. So the Aramaic phrase, Abracadabra, have we ever heard that anywhere before?
It's a good thing you didn't have a wand in your hand.
Oh
my goodness.
I've stolen your wand. Where have we heard that from? It's very popular.
Say it again.
You said it.
But don't hold this. Okay.
Abracadabra.
It's close. Although I don't know if you are if you read these books.
Yeah, it's a series of books. I would say maybe one of the most popular series of books.
Is it also a movie?
It's very...
Is it Harry Potter?
It's Harry Potter.
Okay, see, I didn't like the books. I like the movies, though.
So you don't like the books?
That's
crazy.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry.
Sorry, we can't talk about this anymore. We got to talk about
how surprised and disappointed we are in Razi.
I know, I'm sorry. I just read other books. I don't...
Have you read the books before?
Yeah, I read all the books in like elementary and middle school.
Okay.
I just
didn't like them.
No, I just don't like reading fantasy, really. I like watching it.
Okay.
But that's just not my reading.
There's a lot to keep track of, I feel like, when you're reading fantasy. Because there's like all the words and stuff, and it's like...
There's like all these names.
All the words. Yes, books do have words.
That's true. The fancy magic words that I don't
Yeah, and the names that are just like syllables.
Because it's like, I get what you mean.
So, in the series of books, Abracadabra is what? What is that?
It's pronounced a little bit differently.
Go ahead and say it then for me, please.
Ooh.
Well, I think it's like Avada Kedavra, right?
Thank
you.
Saying it's Go ahead and say it.
I might have said that wrong, though.
You should hold the wand.
I know. I'm like, I don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
like
because
Avada
it is
Kedavra.
what?
Because it is a spell that will immediately kill who you are targeting.
It is the death spell, right?
Yeah.
It is the death spell.
That's how Harry Potter's parents died. Rossi.
I know from the movies.
Okay. Well, good.
Yes. I'm actually watching them right now.
Well, J.K. Rowling got that from the Aramaic version of the word abracadabra that we're talking about right now. And not only that, the intended use of the word, she also got from it because, so first of all, she says it was the original, according to J.K. Rowling, the original meaning of the word was, let the thing be destroyed. Magical? pull the abracadabra bunny out of rabbit hat, right?
Yeah.
No, let the thing be destroyed. Can you imagine a birthday party with all these 5 and 6 year olds? All right, kids. How do you say it?
Abracadabra.
Here's a dead bunny.
Oh no, that's not okay.
That is not okay. So I actually have a picture I'm going to show to you folks here. Okay? This is the picture that I am doing, that it sort of
Oh, yeah.
It looks like those,
I
like,
read about this one.
Did you read about this?
It's the amulet, isn't it?
This is, see, am I working? I don't know if I'm working. I was holding it up to a camera, but maybe not. Maybe it was holding it under the camera there. So, yeah, what do you know about this?
So I was reading about this one a little bit, and the stuff I read was kind of like all over the place, but it was like the origin of the word. Yeah. It was from the Middle Ages, and it was kind of like something people would have like an amulet to ward off the disease. So like if you got sick, they'd like, here's an amulet, hope you feel better. And that was kind of like one of their ways of treating some illnesses.
And it had these words on it. It had the like abracadabra and then going down.
They did very much believe that this would cure you, fix your fever, prevent you from getting, it was a what's that thing where you?
Oh, like a placebo?
A vaccine.
A
It was like a vaccine.
Sorry.
It was a placebo.
We have
right?
talked about placebos before, and I do have that word written down in my research coming up here too. But I have gone back in time for you.
Time traveling.
I have found the first known location of the writing of the word abracadabra.
How do you know it was the first?
Because I was there.
Oh, right.
I just told you I went back in
Yeah,
time.
he's time traveler.
Time traveling. I forgot. How quickly.
So the person's name is Quintus Serenus Samanicus.
What a name.
Right there. He was a Roman physician in the 2nd century AD. And he authored Liber Medic. The Book of Medicine. What is that?
You
How do you
just
spell? I
stop
can't
saying it.
I just
In the
stopped.
middle
I
of
just
the
stopped in the
word.
middle of the word.
Liber medicinalis.
There we go. And which means a book of medicine. It is a didactic poem offering various medical remedies. In chapter 51,
That's a lot of chapters.
he introduces the term abracadabra as a cure for fever, believed to be malaria at the time. He advises that writing the word in a diminishing triangular pattern on papyrus and wearing it as an amulet will alleviate illness.
How did he test this?
Right.
I don't think he went before a medical board for it. But I have the actual words in the native language, which I'm not going to read to you. But I do find it interesting that this is all a different language, but the word abracadabra appears as written as we still say it today.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Back from the 2nd century. This is a quote and a translation of what it says from his book, The Book of Medicine. Write on a sheet of paper the word abracadabra repeatedly, but remove the last letter each time so that more and more letters are missing from the lines, taking away the letters you remove and leaving the rest until the word is reduced to a narrow cone. Remember to bind this around the neck with linen thread.
Abracadabra.
Yeah. And if we see if I can try that one more time.
Too, in the Middle Ages, like additionally to the word preventing diseases and curing diseases, it was also used to ward off evil spirits.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was kind of used as like a chant. Like you would chant it and then it would...
Yes. People used it all over the place like that. They'd even write it on their doors.
Yeah.
But before I go on to that, I just want to draw back to what J.K. Rowling said, that let the thing be destroyed. and then using it in this sense to destroy the virus.
So it's like you're taking apart the word, which is also taking apart whatever is
You're
going
diminishing
on.
the word.
Yeah.
You're diminishing the disease.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
That's pretty meta.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, let's go back to what you were saying there, because Londoners would use it as well in to get rid of the plague. The Great Plague.
Did it work?
No, because we all know that the plague is due to like rats and things.
Rats and things. Yeah.
Yes, just like that, right? That are, spreading the disease for us. But they did. They would write the word abracadabra up over their doorways to ward off the plague. And Daniel Defoe, I have another source for you, a Journal of the Plague Year by Daniel Defoe. This is what he wrote about. Some, in their distemper, ran about the streets crying, "Lord, have mercy upon us." And some, they went to church, and there, to their prayers crying out, "O Lord, we are most miserable sinners, and we deserve all the judgments thou hast brought upon us." Others made vows and went to priests and ministers to have them absolved. And some carried about the word abracadabra, written upon little paper, which they thought would keep off the infection. Daniel Defoe, that's from back in Puritan times, too. Back in those oldie times.
Do you know, sometimes I confuse Daniel Defoe with William.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Do you know who Daniel Defoe is?
Yes, he's back from Puritan times.
An ancestor of William Defoe?
Yeah,
He's
probably.
William's great grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we maybe have seen or do, or people do as good luck, or they do this to make sure this doesn't happen to them, or this does happen to them? What are other things that I don't want to say?
Kind of like
word.
superstitious things?
That's the thing.
Oh,
I
you
was
didn't want to say that?
Yeah, well, because some people might not think they're
Sorry.
superstitious. Some people might believe that it's like rabbit foot.
That's superstitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picking up a penny that's face up.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
Knocking on wood.
Yeah, never pick up a penny face down, because that's
bad.
That's bad luck.
Well, what happened?
Like tails.
Your day is
I
going to
did
go
it.
terribly.
Your day
I
is
did
gonna be
that
bad.
today.
Did you?
Did you really?
No.
Oh.
I was going to say your day's about to be terrible.
Walking. Wait, what are we saying? Walking on. No.
Walking on what?
I was gonna say
Sunshine?
walking under a ladder, but that's bad
yeah,
luck.
yeah.
Well,
But,
but that's
don't
still
walk
very.
under it. There we
That's
go.
still very similar, right?
Yeah.
That's very similar.
Don't step on cracks.
Or you'll
That's
break your
also
mother's
exactly
Your
what I was
mom's bag, yeah.
So
That's
how
crazy.
much of those things
Poor mothers out there.
I know.
do people let affect them? Like their day or their right?
Are there any
A
that
black
you
cat
kind of
walked in front of
do?
me.
Like if a black cat walked in front of you, what would you do? Would you just be like, "Hey, cat"?
I'd be like, please go away. I'm allergic.
Do you ever knock on wood and like truly mean it?
No,
I do
don't.
it for like the bit sometimes, but
Yeah.
not like.
Yeah, like ironically.
Yeah. I honestly would not pick up a penny if it's face down, though.
No.
No.
I wouldn't pick up a penny because it's very dirty.
And let me tell you, we're in our 40s. It's low on the ground now.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess not.
maybe not for you. Maybe you're like, I'm fit. But for me, I'm like, oh, that's so far away.
I will say though, I don't know if this has anything to do with what we're talking about, but anytime I have an eyelash fall out, I always make like a fully formed wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be like sitting there for like 30 seconds and I'll think of what I
And
really
actually
want.
think of something. To
Yeah.
People see a clock and all the numbers the same time, make a wish.
Yeah.
Abracadabra, baby. It's magic time. I'm going to start saying that.
Please do.
Yeah. But there are people that live by those things.
Yeah.
There are people who truly believe some of those things. And that's okay. That's okay. But why does abracadabra fall away from feeling? We don't know it that way today.
Well, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it's because, and I don't know how it got to this way, but like
when it started becoming a part of like magicians, and not like, there's some people who are like, I'm truly a magician, but then there's people who are like, I'm
a magician.
I'm a magician. And I think then once it starts getting connected to kids magic shows, I think then it's like, oh, okay, abracadabra. What's the magic word? Please, no, abracadabra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as we go into time from where we currently are sitting in time, some of the reasons that I found that it just falls away from becoming this medical cure almost to this magical thing that it didn't really have any science to it. There was the rise of science and medicine in the 17th to 19th century.
Also like factual things.
There was the development of germ theory and all those things that were happening. There was the decline of superstition, and rationalism came about 18th century through the Enlightenment era. So the age of Enlightenment that promoted reason and skepticism, and it rejected like this magical thinking that this thing, which wasn't based in fact or science, was going to actually do anything for you. There was a lack of evidence. Someone asked earlier in the episode, how did he test this? I don't think he was worried about testing stuff. I think in the 19th and 20th century, that is when we start to see the evolution into stage magic and entertainment.
Yes.
Yes. So by the 19th century, abracadabra was taken by stage magicians as a theatrical incantation. It was this magical word that could help us. It turned into a symbol of illusion through all those magicians. And today it is seen as this modern placebo effect, that if you were to have done it, maybe it did make your fever go away for you, because as we discussed in other episodes this season, you believed it, and therefore your brain was releasing certain things that then made you feel better, not feel pain, those kinds of things, because you believed it. That power of the brain we talk about earlier in, is it the mesmerized episode? I think maybe we even, so those are really some of the reasons why abracadabra kind of falls away
that was
from
a nice
being.
noise.
That was a nice
noise.
Yeah.
I should do sound effects.
Wait, ready to do again.
Where'd he go?
I'm back. Yeah. So yeah, that's a little bit about how that happened. What about other cultures? We're all tied to one another through this globe we sit on, right? And I find it very interesting that with this word, other cultures have very similar words that mean similar things throughout time, and all at this same type of time. So let's talk about the Arabic traditions. There's a phrase, which I'm going to my pronunciator.
Bismillah.
Thank you. It means in the name of God. And if we go back to abracadabra, what was one of those original thought to be?
Father, Son.
Yeah, Holy Spirit, right? Gotcha. So here we are. And that was recited at the start of tasks for divine blessing and protection. Then we've got the Hindu and Buddhist mantras, and one of them is
Mani Padme Hum.
And that's, or we could go with this one too.
I might not be saying these right. I'm really sorry if I say them wrong. Shivaya. I missed the first part. Om Namah Shivaya.
Yes. So reciting them repeatedly was said to bring peace. Peace. We also find other ones that have to do with peace. The Chinese and East Asian practices, they have
Ping An,
which means peace. It's common for evoking harmony and protection. European folk traditions, and maybe we might hear this if we go to church in America even, but here's one.
Pax Vobiscum.
which means peace be with you. They're commonly employed in religious context as well. So there's this whole time period where all of these different cultures, starting with when it meant Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that have these different cultural references which are similar to it. It's very interesting how this word seems to globally exist in a very similar way. I even read things that in Russian culture, they have the word spelled almost identically with some symbol changes in there, but almost identically to what we know as abracadabra. And we should remember that abracadabra is not an American word. Right? It is not. It is not.
I don't think I ever thought it was an American word. I thought it was just a made-up word.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought it was. Yes, I would say just gibberish. Is what I think growing up, and even into, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
Do you know what else I thought? I always thought that abracadabra and open sesame were connected, because I thought, like, with abracadabra, I was thinking of Spanish, like abra, with open.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, it must have started from, like, open sesame and abracadabra must be similar and of the same vein.
I think sometimes, so why do we have that? Why is it that we need this thing to heal the fever? Right? These words. Why is it we need the magic in our life? Why do we need those things? I mean, why do we need that?
I mean, I feel like humans want to have control over their situation. So with stuff like diseases, especially at times in like the Middle Ages when there aren't really like doctors and stuff like that.
And
like,
there's no Google.
No WebMD,
right?
Nothing. Like, you're going to look anywhere to try to get some sort of hope or feeling of control. And I mean, that probably makes sense why like so many different cultures at the same time have similar ideas, because like human needs are universal.
What?
I'm just saying.
Okay, fine. That is outlandish.
I know. Hot take.
They are. I think we need to explain things. We need to understand them. We need to have power over them. We have to know that there's something we can do about it, even if it's magical. Even if we have to have a reason and an explanation for it. Well, the magic did it.
Yeah.
This can happen. I can make this happen. This can be, right? And it's very interesting how, as you look back at it, I'm going to call it magic. They thought it was this magical thing.
Yeah.
By writing abracadabra and taking a letter away into the cone and pinning that around your neck, that was it. So that word had power. That was a powerful word back then. Because what could it do? I mean, people could die of fever.
Yeah.
Of plague from the rats.
Rats and things.
It was definitely the thing.
I think there was a book or two with words in it that talked about it. But that word was power. And what it could do was power. It explained something. And that was powerful. I'm going to read a quote to you from Dan Parks.
When was Dan from?
Not long ago.
Oh, okay. Is he still around?
And England, I believe.
Oh, England. Oh, I love the British.
From ancient proverbs to modern-day slogans, history has shown us that words can shape futures, inspire movements, and transform lives. When delivered with meaning and purpose, our words possess an unparalleled capacity to convey emotion, share knowledge, and ignite profound change. Abracadabra was something that gave life to people on their deathbed. It was so powerful that it spread as fact and science and cure. Because it was said, and because it was written in that book I couldn't pronounce the name of. Book of Medicine, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, as we close here, it's clear that the word abracadabra has carried with it more than just the promise of magic. It's a reflection of humanity's deep desire to create, heal, and protect. Through words, through belief, and through actions, it has captivated minds for centuries, from ancient Romans, using it as a medical charm, to the Londoners, clutching during the plague, and even today when it echoes in the minds of magicians. In some way, we all share that yearning for transformation from something beyond our grasp to make life easier and perhaps a little more magical. What we see in abracadabra is a metaphor, though. It's a metaphor for life's own catharsis. The release of tension, the healing that comes from the belief and the magic we create in our own worlds. It's mesmerizing how even in modern times, this ancient word can still catch our attention and make us feel a bit jolly, hopeful, able to face difficulty. Here's the thing, though. We all have that power. We create as we speak, not just with incantations, but in our daily lives. With the words we choose and the actions we take, we have a responsibility, a duty to our words to choose them thoughtfully. Whether we're trying to heal, inspire, or simply bring joy around us. So as we wrap up my rant, remember that the magic of abracadabra is not just in the word itself, but in the belief and the intention we put behind it and all of our words. We should all be mindful of what we say, how we act, and how we allow those around us to feel. We can create the world around us by the words we choose and what we say. And that is magic. Well, my friends, we've come to the end of our episode. I am Dominic.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Rozzy.
I'm Harmon.
And you've been listening to One Word.
One word.
One word.
Join us next time when our word is cacophony. See you next time.
One Word is a production of BFAC On Air.
Well,
That sounded just like him.
I don't think she did.
Sorry.
All right, here we go. Ready?